Okay, now I proceed with the wing. I printed out a template, glued it together, and now copied all the lines and positions of spaces, retract pocket and aileron pocket on a sheet of Depron, and I'll cut this out with a new sharp cut blade. After cutting out the wing skin, I have to reinforce it with package duct tape. I let overlap the stripes about 5 mm. After the outside of the wing skin is armed, I now have to pre-bend the nose or leading edge area, which I do pulling this area with soft pressure over a desk's edge. I also tightly bend the upside of the airfoil, where the wing is also rounded, but leave the bottom side of the foil in flat. Okay, after this is done, I have to camber the area around the trailing edge, so I mask the area towards the area which is not affected by the grinding process. I double the tape I need to mask. And I now put the trailing edge to the edge of the mounting plate and grind down the material between the two edges, the mask and the mounting plate. Additionally, I have to say that the trailing edge has about 10 mm offset material, which is trimmed away after the wing is closed to make sure that to get a clean and smooth, straight cut trailing edge. Okay, I also do this chamfering process for the opposite side of our butterfly wing skin. That's an easy job of some minutes to grind that material to a perfect chamfer. Okay, after I did this, I now have to take out the wheel pocket, the retract area, and the box or pocket for the aileron servo. I do this with a very fine and sharp scalpellum cut blade, because it's easier to go through the tightly bended curves of the wheel pocket and the servo pocket. Okay, after the pockets are cut out, I assemble the fixation spacers of the retract to the wing. Pre-assemble the retract mechanics in position. Fix it to the spacers with the screws, and now glue this fixation ribs in position, keeping tight to the mechanic. Okay, after the whole retract mechanics is glued to the wing as a module, I now use the carbon spar to align the spacers in the right position to the wing and glue the spacers 0 to 4, which are marked with 2 holes, on the bottom side of the wing skin using epoxy resin. Okay, I now remove the carbon spar and the weight I placed to keep the ribs in place. I now use Hupor for the other ribs, which are just marked with 1 hole in a rib. I apply Hupor on the bottom side of the skin and so also apply some glue to the bottom side of the ribs edge. Upor is a contact glue, and so the pre-dried glue will immediately bind with the opposite part. Okay, I also used the carbon spar in the other hole, where the main spar is positioned later on, to align all the ribs in position to the marks on the bottom skin. Okay, now as all ribs are in position, I cut out the ribs in the area of the wheel pocket. Take these parts out and take a fine file to place a gap where the cable for the aileron servo and the cable for the retract servo are positioned later on. I now put some glue on the top side of the wing, also on the top side of the ribs, and on the campers I created on both sides of the trailing edge too. Okay, now it's time to close the wing. Just get all the cables and LEDs in place. To make sure that the bottom side of the wing is even and plain, I use some double-sided tape to stick the bottom side of the wing on the mounting plate. The gap between the both of the plates is there to take the retract mechanics. Okay, put the LEDs in place. And now, as this is done, I close the wing. I close the wing from the trailing edge to the front. The first point to contact the bottom half with the top half is the trailing edge. Okay, now as the trailing edge is bound, I push the material forward to the leading edge, and after the material is in contact with the ribs, I take my thumb and tweak down the material on the nose. This is to get a sharp and defined leading edge. Okay, now apply some pressure on the wing to get the glue binding. If there are some wrinkles or crackles in the surface, no breaks but some less beautiful areas, just take a hot air gun and fan them away. Okay, and now this is wing number 1.